interesting and very important discussions on 2-mark questions. So, in the annual examination, you will get 12 2-mark questions under section B. Out of 12, you need to attend only 10, and each carries 2 mark. Let us go ahead with the very important 2-mark questions from the chapter Nature and Significance of Management, I mean the first module. The question is, state any 2 organizational objectives of management. So, here there are 3 types of objectives in the management. One is organizational, another one personal, and the last one social objectives. But here the question is related to any 2 organizational objectives of management. So, here the very important organizational objectives are long run survival, earning profit, growth and expansion of business. So, here I have mentioned 3 objectives. So, mention any 2 in annual examination. So, long run survival, earning profit, growth and expansion of business. The second question is, justify the importance of coordination by any 2 factors. So, here we need to mention the points related to importance or the necessity of coordination. Answer: growth in size, functional differentiation and work specialization. So, growth in size, functional differentiation and work specialization, these are the importance or the necessity of coordination in the organization. Let us move on the next question. Give the meaning of mental revolution as propounded by Taylor, as propounded by F.W. Taylor, the father of scientific management. So, according to F.W. Taylor, mental revolution involves making changes in the attitude and behavior of workers and management through sharing of opinion and requirements. It aims to create good cooperation and replacement of competition with the cooperation. So, the main objective of mental revolution is vested with both should realize that they require to the business, means both employer and employee very essential to start and run the business activities. Next question, what is discipline according to Fayol? According to Fayol means Henry Fayol, the father of general management, discipline refers to obedience to organizational rules and regulations and employment agreements to maintain industrial peace. Means here obedience to the organizational rules and regulations and employment agreements, and each and every employee must be obedient to rules and regulations, and discipline requires good superiors at all the levels of management, clear and fair agreements and punishments for violation of rules and regulations in the organization. So, this is the meaning or the definition given by Henry Fayol in the general management. Let us move on the next question. State any 2 differences between unity of command and unity of direction. So, here the first point related to unity of command, later unity of direction. Unity of command means each and every individual must be commanded by a single boss, but unity of direction means group of employees or the entire organization will be directed towards single plan. Then unity of command impacts on individual employee, but unity of direction impacts on entire organization. So, unity of command, another difference we can mention, the third difference, unity of command it has limited scope, but unity of direction it has very wider scope. Or unity of direction, this is very limited term and a narrow aspect, and unity of direction it is very wider. Let us move on the next question. What is scalar chain? The flow of authority from superiors to subordinates or higher levels to lower levels in the organization through formal channels is called scalar chain. Next question, what is gangplank? A shorter route of communication on emergency or critical conditions of business to take immediate decisions in the organization is called gangplank. Example, on emergency, employees or subordinates of same level can exchange the information. So, this is the example for the term gangplank. Let us move on the next question. Give the meaning of globalization. Globalization refers to integration of world economies or integration of domestic business with world economies. Example, globalization of marketing, globalization of production, globalization of human resources, and globalization of investments. So here integration among world economies for internationalization of production, then marketing, technology, and free flow of resources. The next question, what is privatization? So your answer is providing more opportunities, greater role and importance to the private sector and private people in the nation building process, and less importance and role to the public sector is called privatization. So in this privatization, so disinvestments of securities or the shares may happen in the public sector companies, and importance to the private sector will be provided, or importance will be given to the private people to invest their money. Example, Air India and LIC. Next question from the chapter planning. State any two features of planning. Here there are several features of planning. Let us mention just two. Planning focuses on achieving objectives. Planning is a primary function of management, and planning is pervasive, and planning is futuristic, and planning leads mental exercise. All these features of planning. Next question, give the meaning of planning premises. So planning premises is concerned with the future, which is uncertain, and assumptions about the future. The assumptions and predictions are called planning premises, and do remember students, planning premises related to anticipation and forecasting of external environmental factors. Next question, what do you mean by objectives? The very important and most repeated question in the annual examination. If we observe and glance past 3-year question papers, there you can identify the question, what do you mean by objectives? So objectives are the desired future goals or the positions that the management would like to reach or achieve. Let us move on the next question, what is procedure? So here procedures are the routine steps to carry out activities. They detail the exact manner in which any work is to be performed, is called a procedure. So each and every organization has a very different or unique procedure in their day-to-day activities to achieve the common goals and objectives. Do remember students, here the procedure means the routine steps to carry out the activities of the business, and they detail the exact manner in which any work is to be performed. Next, give the meaning of program. So program or the programs are detailed statements about a project which outlines the objectives, policies, procedures, rules, tasks, human and physical resources required, and the budget to implement any courses of action. So here programs are the detailed statements about a project which outlines objectives, policies, procedures and other things to reach the common goals and objectives of the organization. Next question, what is strategy? It refers to a comprehensive plan. It refers to a comprehensive plan to achieve short-term and long-term goals and objectives of the business. Example, marketing strategy, production strategy, sales strategy, and then distribution strategy. So these are the examples for strategy. Then what is a policy? Policies are general statements to take decisions and actions on the resources and activities of a business to achieve the goals and objectives. So here the policies are the general written statements to take decisions and actions on resources and activities of business to achieve goals and objectives. Next chapter, organizing. Here the first question, give the meaning of organizing. So organizing can be defined as a process that initiates implementation of plans by clarifying jobs and working relationship and deploying resources effectively in the organization to achieve goals and objectives. But in general sense, organizing means bringing together or arranging of required resources, to establish the business is called organizing. And organizing, the secondary function of management or the second function of management after planning, and always organizing converts plans into action. second question, write any two differences between functional and divisional organization structure. Any two differences between functional and divisional organization structures are as follows. So, first one, the criteria basis, functional organization structure based on functions and the divisional organization structure based on divisions or a product. Next, specialization, functional specialization, functional organization structure, product specialization, divisional organization structure. Then the criteria suitability, functional organization structure not suitable to multi-products company, but divisional organization structure is absolutely and perfectly suitable to multi-products company. So, these are the differences between functional and divisional organization structure. And functional organization structure, it has narrow scope, and divisional organization structure, it has very wider scope. Next question, what is formal organization? So, here the answer is an organization which establishes by top level management to reach desired objectives and which is controlled by rules and regulations is called formal organization. Do remember, very important question, an organization which establishes by top level management to reach desired objectives and which is controlled by rules and regulations is called formal organization. Next question, differences between formal and informal organizations. Now, formal and later informal. Firstly, formal, establishes by top level management, it has rules and regulations to control, directed by rules, communication according to scalar chain, and formal organizations are very rigid and managers are the leaders, but informal establishes through personal interactions, social network relationship, then no rules and regulations, in any direction communication may happen or people may communicate each other, then very flexible, and managers may or may not be the leaders, or leaders may or may not be the managers in the organization. So, these are the differences between formal and informal organizations. The next question, differences between delegation and decentralization. So, here the delegation compulsory act, but decentralization is optional. Delegation to give authority and to share responsibility, but decentralization to take decisions. Then delegation, it is very narrow concept or it has narrow scope, decentralization wider scope. Delegation reduces burden of managers, but decentralization improves subordinates in the organization. So, these are the differences between delegation and decentralization. Next question, why is staffing both a line as well as staff activity? Staffing is a function of middle level management and all the managers, hence it is a line activity. Staffing is a function of middle level management and all the managers, hence it is a line activity. And staffing is a function of managing and developing employees, hence it is a staff activity. So, the question, why is staffing both a line as well as staff activity? The very important question. So, staffing is a function of middle level management and all the managers, especially the production finance HR manager used to concentrate on staffing process, hence staffing is a function of middle level management, hence it is a line activity, and staffing is related to managing and developing of employees in the organization, hence it is a staff activity. Next question, write any two factors which influence the way of recruitment, selection and training of employees in any organization. Answer, demand and supply of labor in the labor market. Another factor, nature of job and type of employee required to the organization. And moreover, organizational policies also impact on recruitment, selection and training of employees in any organization. Next question, what is recruitment? Recruitment is a process of searching prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for organizational jobs, or the organizational vacancies is called recruitment. And recruitment, this is very essential function to fill the organizational vacancies. Next question, give the meaning of selection. Selection is the process of choosing the best candidates and eliminating the rest through various selection tests. Is called employee selection. And selection, it is very essential activity to choose the best candidates to fill the organizational vacancies, and to improve the organizational productivity and quality output, selection is very essential, and selection based on various types of interviews and tests. The next very important question in the annual examination point of view, that is, what is placement? So here placement refers to giving right jobs to the right person in the organization is called placement, and always the placement based on the knowledge, experience and potentiality of candidates. So these are the criteria for the employee placement or the candidate's placement. So placement means assigning right work to the right person. Next, what is orientation? So orientation is introducing the new employees to the existing employees and familiarizing them to the rules and system of the organization. So orientation also called as induction. Here to the new employees, orientation is very essential. So here in this orientation process, the new employees, they come to know and they get the knowledge about the old employees or the existing employees of the organization, rules, regulation, system and each and every aspect of the business. Next, give the meaning of transfer as an internal sources of recruitment. So here transfer involves shifting of employee from one job to another job, or one department to another department, or from one shift to another shift without any change in the responsibilities and status of the employee, or lateral movement of employee within the same grade without any changes in salaries and responsibilities called transfer. The next question, state the two type of direct financial payments which an organization can adopt to pay its employees. Usually time based payments, performance based payments, salaries, wages, bonus, incentives are the examples for direct financial payments. Next, state any two differences between training and development. Training is job oriented process, but development is career oriented. Training to improve skills and knowledge, but development related to overall growth of employee in the organization. What is job rotation? An on-the-job training which involves shifting the training from one department to another, or from one job to another job for improving skills and knowledge. So here job rotation, a method of on-the-job training. Here the job rotates, or the employee used to move from one job to another job or one department to another department to learn the new skills, knowledge and work experiences. The next question, state any two merits of internal sources of recruitments. So qualified personnel, wider choice, fresh talent or new blood to the organization. Next question, write any two demerits of external sources of recruitment. Leads dissatisfaction among existing staff, lengthy process, costly process and time consuming method. Mention any two merits of internal sources of recruitment. Motivation of employee and employee morale. Internal recruitment also simplifies the process of selection and placement. It takes less cost. Mention any two demerits of internal sources of recruitment. Less scope for fresh talent, employee become lethargic in work, less spirit competition, frequent transfer reduces productivity in the organization. So these are demerits from the internal sources of recruitment. The next chapter, directing. Dear students, directing chapter questions we discuss in a next session. So in the next session we go ahead with the else questions of the chapter directing, controlling and financial management. Thanks for watching. Do share, subscribe and comment. Thank you students. Take care of your health and take care of your family members. Thank you. Thanks a lot.